Welcome back, Metalheads. We've got another great album review for you. This time, this is a band called Lancer. I've just released an album called Tempest. It's released on Fireflash Records, released on the 11th of August. This five-piece band were formed in Sweden in 2009 and have released 4 albums to date. So the first album was called Lancer. This was released in 2013, followed by Second Storm in 2015, and then Mastery in 2017. And like I said, the current album, Tempest, has just come out on Fireflash Records. So I'm going to tell you now who's in the band. We have Jack L. Stroem on vocals, with Ewo Solvelius on guitars, we'd have Fredrik Kelemen on guitars, we'd have Emil Öberg on bass, and then Pontus Andrén on drums. Now, I've been listening to some of the Lancer material of previous albums. They kind of remind me a little bit of Hammerfall, a little bit of Yngwie Malmsteen, a little bit of Narnia, but they're a really interesting band. They've definitely got that Scandinavian vibe. So this new album contains 10 songs. I'm going to tell you what the songs are on this new album. We'd have Purest Power, Fan the Flames, Eternity, Out of the Sun, Tempest, Corruption, Blind Faith, We Furiously Rain, Eye for an Eye, and also Grand Masquerade would be the last song. This album was produced by the band alongside Anders Blackinen, who's at the Armageddon Recording Studios, who also mixed and mastered the album alongside guitarist Pierre Solivus. The artwork was done by Dimitar Nikolov, who's worked with bands such as Ross the Boss and many other artists. He's a fantastic artist, by the way. Now, it's also good to know that the band are also influenced by other Swedish bands. We'd have Morgana Le Fay and Tad Moroz and Enforcer. Yeah, you can hear those type of bands in this music, especially Enforcer and Hammerfall. Now, the opening track, Purest Power, reminds me a little bit of a cross between Morgana Le Fay, a little bit of doom metal, but it also reminds me of an American band called Savage Grace. Another band that would spring to mind would be also another Scandinavian band under the name of Destiny. Vocalist Jack is doing a fantastic job on this album. He's one of the newcomers of the band. He's got a very strong, powerful voice. And as the music's melodic power metal, this is something you really need to check out, guys. It's not your typical Scandinavian vibe, like a lot of bands out there, but they do have Scandinavian elements. They're certainly trying to mix it with US power metal. Now, you could say that Jack's vocals very little much has a little vibe of Charles from Morgana Le Fay. Now, the second song on the album is called Fan the Flames. This is a really cool song. It's definitely got American vibe of US power metal in there, but it also has the elements of the Swedish progressive metal and rock and power metal scene. So it's a really interesting song. Like I say, the vocals are fantastic. There's some great guitar playing and rhythm sections on here. Has a little vibe of Iron Maiden in there as well, so maybe a bit of Armored Saints. Out of the Sun kind of reminds me a little bit of Halloween or Nocturnal Rites. It's got a vibe of the Galloping Iron Maiden, the Halloween, but it also has the vibe of the right kind of Nocturnal Rites vibe to it. So it's a really interesting song, and it's called Out of the Sun. The next song is called Tempest. This is a semi-ballad. It's pretty cool. This is also followed by the song Corruption, which is an instrumental and lasts like about a minute. This is followed by the song Blind Faith. This is a really cool song. It's probably my favorite song on the album. The vocals are very interesting on this album. They're very strange, and it takes a few listens to get used to. But he is an interesting singer, and his vocals do fit the music very well. I like it because it's not an album you can listen to straight away and get into the vocals. The vocals are strange, and I get that. They kind of fit the music really well. Next song is called Blind Faith. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. It's very catchy, very melodic, but heavy at times. The vocals are very strange. That's one thing I've noticed about this album. His vocals are different to what you'd expect for the music to sound like. Vocalist Jack is an unusual singer. I really like his style. I think it's something different for a power metal band. It takes a couple of listens to get used to, but he's a very interesting vocalist, and his vocals really do suit the music. Another great song is We Furiously Rain. This is a fantastic song as well. Very well put together, very strong album with some great music. Vocals are very interesting. Like I said, Jack is an interesting singer. I like a singer that stands out from a lot of other singers. This guy does. It's a bit like Devin Graves from Psychotic Waltz. So this album is a cross between traditional heavy metal, power metal, maybe a little bit of speed metal, but more directed towards traditional and power metal. They're an interesting band, the Lancer. So I'm going to give this album 4 out of 5. It's one of those albums that you might have to listen to a couple of times, but once you listen to it and get into it, it's a great album. So please check out this album, Metalheads. It's by the band Lancer, and the album's called Tempest, and it was released on Fireflash Records on the 11th of August of this year. Thanks for watching, Metalheads. More reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching.